to be a model, the ways of posing like a model, or how to use your surroundings as a stage? Have you ever wanted to learn the steps on how to model like a professional? Would you like to learn new recipes from around the world and make great dishes like goulash and tasty meals from places like Russia? Well, today's guest will talk about this and other neat tricks he learned as he shares his experience as a chef and as a rising model. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Ibrahim Kane, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us today for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when are not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with few mistakes as possible. For each student, they will write 4 different in direct production. This program will give you to talk about themselves and the production they are planning and give the chance to get to know them. Watch the NCC with the many great talents as an experienced chef as, we would like you to meet Adam Loblack. Tell us some of the things you experienced and learned when you were a chef and a rising model.
Well, ever since I was young, I always was a very creative person. I always wanted to try something new. So I decided that after high school, I wanted to go to culinary school in Maine. In the program, I actually decided to work in a hotel. It was a very fast-paced environment that allowed me to actually learn the steps and the procedures on how to really be a chef. I actually used a lot of techniques that I learned in the culinary school to cook for like 50 and more people. While I was working in the hotel, I also did some waitering positions. I did bakery, and I also did some hosting. After I got back from Maine and I was in Connecticut, I decided I wanted to try something else. So after I decided to talk to a few people, they all told me to do modeling. So I tried my hands in modeling, which was very interesting, that I actually wanted to pursue, but unfortunately I was in the situation between school and everything else. But the actual modeling career was a very intense job. I actually learned emotional techniques in a still frame motion to actually bring out a person's personality without even having any type of movement. The actual photographer would actually capture you in ways that you wouldn't even know you could actually pose. I learned that I could actually have different sides of myself that I didn't even know I could capture on film or on camera. These pictures were actually taken during one of my photo shoots that I got while I was working at one of the modeling agency companies. They actually enjoyed these pictures because of the fact that I used my own expressions and brought out a side of myself that I didn't even know I could.
Could you tell us why you decided to take the television production course?
I was always interested in television, and I also loved the editing and the creating of actual productions in film. I used to try to create my own home videos and edit them myself. I also love the post-production part of creating a film because of the fact of I got to piece together different clips and sequences and put them together so that they would actually create a working piece of art.
What are some of the most useful things you have learned in television production?
The most useful things I've learned were actually the camera styles, the camera movements. I learned the shots that cameras do take. When I was in the TV1 production course, I learned composition and the actual keys in how film is actually made, using keying effects, sequencing, wiping, and audio.
Tell us about the production you created for Television One class, the learning sequence, the Guns N' Hoses, the New England Winter Project, and your Orange story.
Well, with my learning project, I decided that when I was in TV1, I wanted to create a storyboard. I actually used the storyboard to help me learn how to use the camera in different angles and piece together an actual clip that would show an actual working story. This gave me a chance to use what I have as an example of the things that I could create in the future. In my Guns N' Hoses project, I actually got to learn the software that we use in our TV1 production. This included the picture-in-picture effect, we used audio, and we also used wiping techniques and different effects to bring out an actual commercialized picture that is in different ways different. In my New England Winter Project, I was able to actually go out during one of our winter storms and film nature at its toughest time. I learned different shots while I was out there, and I keyed in different effects, like zooming in, composition effects, lines of grace, lines of emotion. And then in my Orange project, I was able to actually create a small short film. This I enjoyed because of the fact that I learned the way the storyboard is actually processed while you're shooting a film. I actually got actors to incorporate this creation, and I used audio and music effects to be put together with this film.
Now, I know that you had one project which you felt like was your best. Could you please tell us about it?
Well, my best project, I would say, would be my Orange project. Because of the fact that I got a chance to create my first short film, and that I used my own storyboard to proceed with it. I used the idea of making it a short, silent film because of my love for old movies. This was a wonderful opportunity for me to use audio effects and bring out the characters' emotions instead of using dialogue. I was able to actually bring out the actual real action in this film to show everybody that without dialogue, you can still understand what's going on into a film, just like around the old times when they didn't use dialogue. It was actually kind of interesting.
After learning how to shoot and edit all of these projects, what would you like to create next?
My next project I would love to do is produce probably a music video. Maybe do my own short documentary on the real situations going on in the world. And I would actually love to continue working in editing and producing films.
What career would you like to pursue after graduation?
After graduation, I feel that I can probably pursue a real-life career in TV and film production. I want to actually work behind the cameras as well as on the cameras. It would actually give me a chance to further my career and learn as much as I can in this field of study.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us his unique talents for cooking, modeling, and creating editing film. As a new director, hopes to apply what he has learned in the television one to others' new create works. We wish him the best of luck in the future. We would like him to thank Adam for joining us today.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of Television Future's directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our programs. Thank you and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors, with your host, Ibrahim Kane, directed by Robsley August. I'm your announcer, Hasima Ukparai. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.